All right, everybody, today I'm going to talk to you about 3 lead gen sources that every realtor just simply needs to master. My name's Darren Langille, and I get a chance to coach my mega team at scale and through my Reducation brand, hundreds of agents around North America. And there's one thing that continues to come up over and over and over again, and it's this concept of how do I build lead generation? So today I want to walk you through the 3 top lead generation resources and lead sources that every realtor needs to have in their business. All right, stage number 1. What I want you to understand is that lead generation is overwhelming. If you're on this video, it's because you know that there's so many things coming from like 1,000 directions, and we're trying to figure out in the middle, what do we do? Should I go down this path, that path that lady's doing? We just don't know, right? We are getting sold things in our DMs on Instagram. We're getting sold things in our inbox. We're getting sold things on YouTube, just like this, about like, what should I do? And should I pay for this? Should I pay for that? See, this is making it so hard for us to go to step 2, which is like decide what is my path? What am I gonna do based on my skill sets to grow my business? So no matter who you are, what background you have, what experience you level, I have coached hundreds of agents through this, and there's a foundational set of lead generation we all need. There's 3 key focuses. All right, the first one here, you guys, I'm going to use this term called sphere of influence mastery. This is a must. When I say sphere of influence mastery, I want you to think about something. Your sphere in general, we think about as our friends. Maybe some of us say, oh, my past clients, my family. That is just one small portion of sphere. Sphere is much more than that. Sphere is what I'm talking about when we talk about lead generation. It's a lead is someone who I can contact. I have a way to reach out. Sphere is everybody that fits that bucket. If they're on your social media and you can reach out to them on a DM, they're in your sphere. We just aren't using them. Right? If they're your best friend and you have their contact information, they're your sphere also, right? If you've got an email from somebody in your community, right? You might have not put them into your big warm hug of sphere, but I'm suggesting that you need to do that. See, sphere mastery has 3 portions. It's the digital side, like emails, text messages. It is the social media side, which is whatever platform you're connecting with people on. And it is the traditional means that we think about when I call up my sphere, when I shoot them a video message on text. That it's the 3 things that work together that work towards sphere mastery. So what I need you to understand first is if you believe this concept that I need to master my sphere, I would ask you right away, how are you doing on this? Rank yourself after this call. You know what, how am I doing from a digital, social, and traditional standpoint, knowing that Darren's telling me that my sphere is everybody. Now I want you to go through, are they all wrapped in one big warm hug, or is your sphere really disconnected? Your email list hasn't been cross-referenced with your social feed. Your social feed doesn't have any cross-reference to your email list. My address list might be completely different because it's only made up of past clients. The goal here is to bring this all together. And if we're going to do this, I want you to understand kind of one thing. The role of social media at the beginning, right? 3 lead gen sources for us to master. The role of social media isn't to grow. It's not that. And this is a mistake everybody's making because they're jumping. They think social means viral. Social means I get found. Oh my God. But no, social is to build this sphere mastery. And the moment you understand this, the moment you understand that social is there to have that attention share with our social, with the people that we know, that's the first role. Sphere mastery starts with what I call maintenance. Maintenance means, are the people that knowing me that I can contact, are they all there for one? And then do they all know I exist because I'm posting and providing kind of top of mind awareness? That's the thing with social. Now, the one thing that typically happens with most realtors is they might be okay building things like their email list. They might be okay building things like an address list, but they might be okay adding to their CRM. But social media sits on this separate bucket altogether, and there's this giant line. But the beauty of sphere mastery is we can reverse this. We can reverse the social contacts, reverse it, and pull just a social connection, and we can pull them into our warm hug, which is email, which is address, which is CRM, which is phone numbers. You understand this? We want to reverse build our list. And this is that concept that I need you to understand through this video. Okay? So, big one. Sphere mastery includes multiple things. My digital touch points, my traditional touch points, my social touch points, and now understanding that sphere is everybody. And that now I'm giving you stage 2, which is pulling the social groups offline into your general sphere warm hug, which is kind of like your LTV. This is your long-term value funnel. This is where everybody needs to go. So if you believe me, sphere mastery is a combination of, traditional sphere stuff with your organic social media mastery combined. That where would we go as number 3 to try to ensure that our lead generation is covered? Well, this is, I'm calling out the max out world. This is max out. I didn't steal this. And what I mean by this is maxing out the transactions. And this is a huge gap for most agents. When we get an opportunity to transact, because you created sphere mastery, you worked the social and offline stuff together, it generated repeat, referral, first-time business into your world. But then we hit the transaction, right? The next biggest lead source is maxing this out. So what I mean by this is you've got 2 ways for this, right? You have buyer deals, and then you have seller deals. And most often we get so excited, especially as we're getting going, trying to stack your first 100,000 together and crack it for the first time. You get a transaction. You go and serve the client. You get them the buyer deal, or you get the listing. You get excited. You serve them well. They're happy. They close the deal, and we move on. But this is it's kind of like a series of golden nugget opportunities that most agents forget about. And it's not just about using the transaction. It's about using this concept to say why one opportunity should create more. And that's what I want you to think about. Instead of thinking about some other lead gen source like I should get on YouTube, I should run paid ads, I should start a farm. We get distracted beyond the sphere and the basics and said, let's just work with what we have first, right? So if it's a buyer, well, what do? Well, there's 2 ways to do this. If you have a buyer, you know a secret. I have a buyer. You know a secret, which means if you have a buyer, you can go to the places that your buyer search is on and you can start conversations. The beginning part of lead generation is having new real estate conversations. So take the message forward to the areas, to the homeowners, and have conversations about this. Okay. Second part of the buyer side is when you do the deal. When you do the deal, who are you? You're the agent that actually sold the house. But more often than not, we leave that opportunity to the listing agent to go and use it to drive more real estate conversations. But you and I know most agents are lazy, and they are not going to use that opportunity to go and hit the streets, hit the mailbox, be a part of the community, and share the message about, I just brought the buyer. I just brought the most recent sale price. I just brought the most record sale price. We just got this. And you can take that message forward to the neighbors. And you can use a buyer message to generate new seller conversations. You can arbitrage the deal, okay? The seller side might seem a little easier, right? Because you are now not the secret. You are on display. You have your listing sign outside, you got your open house signs, which is great. But instead of just doing the transaction again, serving your friend or your sphere, now we have to think about this. I am a walking proof of success before I sell it and then after. So if we're talking about the 3 top ways to generate lead sources, it's off the backs of your transaction, okay? Before, what will you do before you succeed to generate new real estate conversations and intentionally go into this business knowing that when I take a listing, I'm not just going to sell it. When I take a listing, I'm going to sell it and drive new conversations. So Before you sell it, you're going to do things like open houses, and you're going to get excited about them because these are fresh new people that you can speak about. You can invite the neighbors, right, to the open house and generate more real estate conversations because you've been chosen. You are a proof of success, even though you've yet to sell it. Of course, after, you can go back to these people. I just sold, we just achieved, you should know. And every homeowner on that street wants to know what happened to that sale price, what happened to their home's value. And this is how we go about forcing the top 3 lead generation resources that you have at your disposal with no tech, no nothing, no experience needed to master your sphere, which includes off and online, as well as maxing out the transactions we got, buyers and sellers. If you can do this in your business, you will drive multiple 6 figures of income into your business, regardless of experience, regardless of tenure. And that's what I want this video to be all about. Get excited about this side, and you will easily become the realtor that you've always wanted and start to see the income coming into your business consistently. Thanks again for watching. My name's Darren Langille. I try to get these videos out every week. Have a great day. Reach out if you need. I'm here for anything.